The foundation of the tune in my mind, I was trying to find a common ground between the blues and the diminished scale. Because I realized that at some point that the blues scale is, and sometimes, you know, you leave out the fourth and just play that tritone sounding thing. That kind of thing. And then I realized, okay, well, the diminished scale is right there in the same position, but with more notes, obviously. And I thought, wow, you know, if you were playing over that progression, you could play blues over it, you know. So I thought, wow, it might be cool to have it with a traditional blues progression, you know, like a jazz blues, but without getting too. I didn't want it to have too many changes, like a serious jazz blues. I knew I wanted it to be more simple than that, so I put like a gospel turnaround in it, you know, where it's like a 4 to the 1, you know, and then back to the 4, and then a 1-6, and then instead of doing, you know, the 2-5 in that sense with the altered, you know, and I wanted it to be more of a gospel turnaround, like, see what I mean? Which basically is just, so it'll go the 1 to the 6, and then a typical minor 7 2 chord, not a dominant one, you know. And then I'd put the 4 chord over the 5 chord bass note, which is basically, you know, it's E flat over F, or like a dominant 11th kind of chord, you know. And then it resolves real nice back to that diminished part, you know, coming out of, you know. So I felt like, okay, now I got 2 sections, you know, where I can go between the typical blues type thing and then that diminished part, you know, that's kind of the basis of the tune, what I was searching for. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it repeats the same thing again. Okay, 3, 4. That's the first half. Okay, here's the second half. Now the idea is there's chromatic things in there, but it's basically coming out of that thing. There's a little chromatic. That's a little, you know, little chromatic connections, but it's still based out of that scale. So that's the whole head that goes over this part right here. It's just typically, like, I look at this scale as a 3 or 4 note per string scale, and I thought, what would happen if I not to play the entire scale on 2 notes per string, but just leave out the third note. Like, so instead of going, I just ended up with. So it's just like a partial of that scale. And so I found that to be kind of intriguing. You know. that kind of a thing. And then you get an idea like that and mix it with, and then go back to the normal fingering, that kind of a thing. And then maybe mix in some chromatic stuff like you were talking about, like something like that. Or if you're looking at it 3 notes here, 3 notes here, you could think like, and then see, because the scale goes, so you could target that note chromatically and go, and then you could target this note chromatically and go, that kind of a thing. That's kind of the idea I was shooting for out of that.